So this is my friend AnnaSofie Робб, and she is a faithful part of our church in New York, has been for 4-5 years, long time. And we're going to have a little chat about what she does and who she is. But you might know her from a few different things. She's been in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. She was the little fat, purple, bratty, chewing
Blueberry
person. And then you were Soul Surfer, Bethany Hamilton, which is awesome. Bridget Terabithia. Carey Diaries for all the young kids. Oh, wow. They should have kept that one on. Mercy Street, way, way back, a whole bunch of things. But I just wanted to start off by asking you, how and when did you become a Christian? And when did you get into acting? How did that happen for you?
Well, I was blessed to grow up in a Christian home, so I've always felt, wow, it's weird to hear my own voice. I grew up in a Christian home, so I always felt like I had a relationship with God, like a casual one, like, hi. So I think when I started acting, I was 8 or 9, and it just started off as a hobby, like if you were to like basketball and you start playing when you're young, and doors just kept opening. So my parents were always very positive, and it wasn't kind of like, oh, there wasn't a specific end goal. It was just, hey, let's walk through this door, or, oh, okay, we'll go to LA. And I think I've just been really blessed with the timing of projects and what roles I got when I was younger, and now I'm here.
That's awesome. How do you think your faith has affected your gift? Because you're very gifted, and not just, in front of the screen, but you are an amazing, bright person. You have a beautiful personality, and God has gifted you in a lot of areas. How do you think that's affected what you do?
Thank you. I'd say I think we're all given many gifts, and God chooses, or the world chooses, to highlight maybe one. And I think what's important to remember is to keep working on sort of all aspects of myself, that like even if the world values my career or whatever it is, to keep a focus, or to keep a balance, that even if I fail, quote unquote, in one area, that's not the end all be all. And that gifts are meant to be stewarded, and just like Bobby was saying, that he might give you a message or I can't remember the word, like a dedication, and you're given that, and then you work with that, and you just keep cultivating your craft or your education or your business or your job, and just take sort of joy in the work. Yeah.
How do you steward your gift, and how do you think that has affected you in your Christianity, in the art, with your art and what you do? How do you steward that and keep moving forward and growing in what you do?
Stewarding my art. Okay. I think it's about getting a right perspective on film, and I see Christianity and film very similar in that there's an end goal, there's a project that we all work together, right? And it takes each individual crew member to make that film, to make that story. And I think, and then we create a product or an art, and that's what we disseminate to the world. And I think the church is a lot like that. We have a message to give to the world, and it takes each one of us and each of our gifts to make something and give it. Yeah.
Has your faith ever cost you an opportunity in what you do? Like, would you ever do a sex scene? Or how far is too far for what you would, what you do?
What I do? I never think of my faith as costing me anything, but more as just providing me with opportunities and sort of a framework. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier when you have a map and a direction and a location. And there are shortcuts, sure, or there are multiple routes, but as long as you have that map, I think it makes it easier to make decisions, or it has been, at least. And great people. I mean, I love this church is my family.
Yeah, you are on the road and you travel a lot. How do you stay close to Jesus? Is there people in your life that you look to when you're on the road or you're in a project? How do you stay close to Jesus in those moments?
It's hard, honestly. I've just been away, and it feels so good to be home. I'd say, I text you, I text Carl, I text a bunch of people on the team and just friends and technology, and I think devotion, the Bible, it's just right there, a drop of a hat. I'm excited for the Hillsong channel, I have to say. I think some really cool things are going to happen with that. Yeah. And Hillsong churches and other churches all over, checking them out is, how I stay in it.
Okay, last question. How do you remain selfless in what you do and remain in the spotlight? Like, how do you make it not about you? Because you don't chase the spotlight. It comes to you and you take those opportunities, but how do you remain selfless with what you're doing?
I think there's a lot of peace found when I don't make it about myself, because it's so easy to compare myself to other people, or what do I want, or am I working hard enough, or like what am I failing at? And I think as soon as I step back and think about the bigger picture, and about what are my gifts, and am I encouraging someone else, and even talking about like my own issues with friends, it puts everything in perspective, because we're each given our cross to bear, or whatever it is, and I think you can't really compare situations and lives, Can
you give AnnaSophie a huge hand? Thanks for sharing your story.